What up? What up?
What's
what
up, guys?
Good guys.
Loaded. Why did you do that? Because we could drop intros. We might as well. There's no pre-thing for this. Oh, fine.
Robbie,
The Bears are terrible.
Robbie, you miserable prick. Go take a shot or something.
I'm about to. This is fucking show starts, you dick.
I can't with y'all. I can't.
He's already given up.
I can't.
No bread. Jeremy up in the building. What's good, guys? It's all good. It gives fucking more time for Warren to get up in here. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, God.
Well, run through some intros, y'all. They know what's up. Run through some intros, you guys.
No, don't go through intros. Not until
don't
fucking
go through
everything is
intros.
set up.
Don't go
Like,
through intros. My bad.
why would you do that if we like? This is stupid.
And the broadcast?
No, you shouldn't end the broadcast. You should just wait 5 fucking seconds.
Gotta get that music going first.
Backing out. You guys got this.
We're not gonna get
Come
music
on,
going.
Bears.
We're just gonna dive right the fuck in as soon as I can get this all going here.
What up, CA?
Let's get
What
the
up, what
reception
up?
here. What up?
Robbie, you got to be smarter than the computer to use it.
Excuse you.
See,
You know what?
what's good? Jeremy, welcome.
I gotta remember that I'm on YouTube simultaneously right now.
No bread.
What's up,
hey,
guys? What is going on?
Mike D. Mike D's back. Back in action.
Mike D. Savage, huh?
Alrighty.
Mike D.
It's the Italian in me, you fuck.
No, it's called I don't know how to get a fucking wax. So you don't know how to fucking shave your shit.
Oh, damn.
So you shave your shit, you puss?
No, I don't have to.
Lydia, what's good? Crazy Mofo in the building. Midwest in the building.
Alrighty, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network.
Oh, I got that scoreboard up there.
No, it's removed.
Crazy Mofo, what's going on?
I
appreciate
removed it
you.
for you.
I appreciate you. You know how I did.
Y'all know what it is. This is Rumboyz After Dark. Welcome to the show. We may have an extra guest joining us, our homie Juice from Rumboyz LA. Check them out. Fantasy Football Bar. You got to go check out the Fantasy Football Bar on iTunes playlists, or I'm sorry, Apple Podcasts is what they call it now.
Okay,
Google,
okay.
and Stitcher.
Yeah, it's
So
a
make
different.
sure
Isn't it a different name now? It's like
What?
Apple Podcasts or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's Apple Podcasts.
You're paying attention.
As of course, it's Le Admiral, the Admiral up in the building, your boy, Robbie J, with El Capitan,
What up, though?
Ty Boogie. And I brought me compadres with me. We're going to work it from top down. Let's go ahead and start with UD.
Rumboyz Philly is in the building. What is going on? Your boy Darion's in the building. What's going on? Let's talk about it. I'm ready to get down to it. Let's get it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
it.
JD from Rumboyz Central, rumboyz.com, and the memes, I guess.
the meme king.
Meme guy.
The meme king. That's exactly what he is.
The fucking meme guy.
Shout to you, Bobby.
Yo, he's a damn good writer as well. Go to rumboyz.com, which you're going to hear that a lot tonight. Go to rumboyz.com. Check out rumboyz.com as well if you have not already.
Your moderator and the man keeping everyone from fist fighting tonight, JD, ladies and gentlemen.
That too.
Yes, he's also a moderator for tonight. Fuck all y'all.
Be
before you start
keeping these guys in line a little bit
What? Hey, Ty and Robbie,
as
why?
well as I can.
Hey, why the host wearing toilet paper as shirts?
Oh, wow.
Damn, this guy's fucking hilarious. Who invited him? Where's the fucking mute button?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, you prick.
You know what it is, guys. It is Rumboyz Northeast, and the sarcastic asshole Boston side of me is coming out tonight.
Cheers to that.
Ayo, AKA, he's going to get his ass whooped in
muted,
fantasy.
And muted 10 times tonight.
He's guaranteed to get muted. He's going to be guaranteed to get muted.
Wait, hey, listen, a loudmouth Italian from Boston? Who the hell ever
Easy
said
bet.
that?
JD,
Easy bet.
JD. Whenever someone needs to get muted, just throw up like a peace sign or something.
No, JD, you should just drop the hammer. Yo, mute that mother. Like, if it's us, mute us. If
Yeah,
it's one of
fuck it.
them, mute them. If it's Bobby, just make sure it's known. We will mute him. No problem.
Were you guys ready for some football?
Hold on. How are we going to be doing score? Are you going to be keeping score of whose takes are hotter, or are we going to leave this up to the chat? Chat scale 1 to 5, hot or not?
Why don't you do
Well,
both?
I got my notes, so I can.
Why don't you do both? JD can score and the chat, and then you.
There you
go.
go.
JD
The
has
chat
his
scores, but I'll record what they say.
Well,
JD
JD, you should think your own and think of what you say. Let the chat say it, and then just say like, "I agree with the chat. I disagree with the chat," and then like maybe your reason why type of thing. You know.
Same old, same old. It's time to get drunk, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll
Let's
get
do
the
this.
last word.
I disagree with the chat.
Oops.
Last word. I like that.
Let me just keep the chat
Someone
open.
get the last word on our showtime. Holy fuck!
Hey, moderator, bro. What up? Slap yourself. Brandon up in the building too. What's good?
Slap yourself. What's good?
Slap
Got a
yourself
lot of
in
great people
entertainment
in
in the
here.
house.
I'm just close up the acoustics.
So let me know when you're ready for the football talk. We got a lot of talk, and if you guys, I don't even have that many subjects. So if you guys want to add a subject, we can always do that too if we have.
So
time.
here's a little bit of breaking news out of New England. And N'Keal Harry's hamstring is worse than they thought.
I have other breaking news too.
Yeah, no, it's worse. It's worse than they thought.
Josh Gordon is cleared to play too.
He
I really want to get into that. I really want to get into that.
Gordon got
talk about it.
Gordon got cleared to play. But the thing that troubles me is Harry got on a flight today and flew back to Massachusetts. He's not even with the team.
That sucks.
Hey, Ty, it looks like the Bears have an interception. Just to let you know.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Switching.
Take it to the house.
Pick six.
Take it to the house.
Pick six.
Take it 99 yards. God, you trash.
Hey, Monte, nigga.
Here comes the comeback, guys.
All you gotta do is run.
We did that.
For real. Just look at Daniel Jones and then look at Eli Manning. Come on.
The one thing that I'm going to enjoy about Daniel Jones is that at least we're going to get 10 more years of dirt face.
Oh my gosh. Before we get into the show, let's start off. And before we hand it over to JD to moderate, y'all ready?
What's good? Slap yourself.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're
Cheers to
good.
me.
Cheers
to you.
All
What it do?
What it do?
What it do?
I don't have no liquor today. I need some liquor in me for this talk.
You came to Rumboyz After Dark without drinks in your system?
You gotta get some drinks.
Listen, I've been busy, man. I've been busy. I know y'all see the notifications, man. Y'all see the notifications. I've been busy.
Let's go. Let's work. JD, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So last episode, we talked about AB, rookie preseason debuts. We talked about Brady, a lot of other segments. If you want to get those clips, go to rumboyz.com, everyone. But tonight, let's get into what has gone on this week in the NFL. Let's just start out with what happened last night. We'll start with Robbie J and Ty. And was Kyler Murray bad on Thursday, or were the Raiders just that good? And what do you expect from Murray going forward? Go with Robbie first.
Yeah, we're going to back and forth. I'll go first, then you go first next time. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, that works.
All right. Was Kyler bad? I don't know how to feel about Kyler right now. I think overall, I'll answer the second question first, if that makes any sense. I think he does get better. I think once we get into regular season, he kind of get into the form that we hope for. Again, I'm not expecting no crazy stats out of the dude, but I expect him to do well. He was one of my sleepers on our Stepmom Lauren show, so I expect him to kind of turn it up. Honestly, I think he just hasn't experienced an NFL blitz like that, and we've seen the Raiders do very well to increase their line. So I think maybe that was just him not experiencing it yet, and I think he gets better, but it was him being worse than I'm going to say the Raiders being better.
So like a stepping stone.
Yeah, straight. That's accurate. I like that.
What about you, Robbie?
So what I'm going to say is that, it's all steps in the positive direction. I would like to still see more out of Kyler Murray. I'm not going to say that he was that bad, but I will say that the Raiders did show that they had depth, and they were decent. And I'm not going to take anything from them as an organization. They're going to look a lot better when they have AB on the field. Now, am I going to take the side of Rumboyz Philly, aka Spotlight, in the sense that I'm going to ride high on them? Hell the fuck no, because there's not enough alcohol in the world that can make me say some shit like that. But what I will, continuously proceed to state is that this is a new offense that the NFL is not used to. Like Slap Yourself did mention in the comment section, he does need to adjust the snap count and get used to the snap count. Also, like Ty Boogie said, he does need to get used and accustomed to the blitz. A couple more reps. Keep doing your thing. The offensive line sucks ass. The offensive line is absolutely terrible. There have been 2 times in the past 2 weeks where Kyler could have gone for touchdowns and gone on consecutive drives if he had a better offensive line. You give him an offensive line like Dallas. You give him a Trent Williams or something, in that offensive line scheme, and watch how that proves. You give him an offensive line like Philadelphia Eagles. They have a very stout offensive line. Give them a better offensive line, better team.
Before we go any further, I just want to get both of you guys' scores from the chat and stuff like that. We should probably do it before each time, don't you think? Just record that. Maybe do it afterward.
It depends how hardcore you really want scores. Last time people were just throwing them out there. It depends. If
people are just going to throw them out there. People are just going to kind of throw them out there.
If you're like really trying to like.
Yeah, we should just tell the chat to just throw them out. Just throw them out.
All right.
Well,
what do you guys think of tie score? Let's score tie 1 through 5. Tie score 1 through 5, guys. 1 through 5. Let's see what we got here.
Well, do them after everyone goes. Goes.
After everyone goes. Sounds good. All right, let's go with Darion. Was Kyler Murray bad on Thursday, or were the Raiders just better?
Talk about it.
As far as knowing me being a Raiders fan, I'm not going to be biased because I know Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I think height is still an issue in my personal opinion. Looking over 6'8", 6'9" offensive lineman, then you have 6'8", 6'9", or 6'3", 6'4" defensive lineman coming at you. So what the Arizona Cardinals need to do is get Kyler Murray out the pocket. Period. He can't sit in the pocket at 5'8 and a half, 5'8 and 1/8. He can't do it. But on the same token, you got to give David Johnson the football as well. That helps with the passing game. You can't pass the ball 40 times and run the ball 6 times and think that's going to be effective. That's not effective at all. So my Raiders, they did good for that night. So we did good against the Rams in week 1. But at the same time, I still feel like we still have some work to do on our defense. I'm not saying that we ride high, but I did like what our rookies did as far as the defensive line. Now for our offense, Mike McGlinnan looked really good. I think he's, did his due diligence on the offensive side. But did Kyler Murray do bad? Yeah, he had 12 yards passing, but at the same time, it's growing pains as a rookie quarterback. It's going to happen. It might happen in the regular season. Who knows? But did Kyler Murray look bad? I wouldn't say he looked bad. It's only the second week of the preseason. He still got enough time to get better and get developed. But as far as the head coach, he has to open up the playbook for Murray to get out the pocket instead of him sitting there.
All right, Bobby, let's go to you. What is your take on Kyler Murray? I think I've heard it, but I want to hear it, the official take.
I think he looked bad, man. I think he did look bad. I think he made a lot of bad reads. I think he made a lot of bad throws too. There's certain throws that you need to throw in, that quarterbacks need to put the ball in certain spots for receivers to go get it. And there was probably 4 that I saw where two of them were possible touchdowns. One of them was the fade ball that he threw that was terrible.
I definitely see.
The other one was that one streak of JD, the one that I told you about streaking down the sideline. You got to throw that back shoulder. He threw that ball in front of him. He threw that ball in front of the receiver, in front of Kirk, I think it was. Or
do you guys see that as a miscommunication, or is that just a bad throw?
I think it was just a bad throw. Like I said, I counted 4 or 5 that he threw in bad spots. But to the other point, I mean, it's hard to make those. Those are accurate. Those are accurate veteran throws that you learn over time, and it's hard to do that when your offensive line gives you 3/4 of a second to throw the ball.
I think he has a hard time seeing over the offensive line. That would be my take. But we'll see.
If you're asking me if the Raiders were good or I had to pick between the Raiders being good and Kyler being bad, I take Kyler being bad, but it's not like it's the second preseason game. There's plenty of room. But here's the thing. He's a dynamic player. He's a dynamic player. But usually I don't take running quarterbacks because you can't running quarterbacks never succeed in the long term in the NFL. So if he's gonna be successful, he needs to learn how to. I mean, Drew Brees is a short guy. Russell Wilson's a short guy, and when they need to stand in the pocket and throw, they can stand in the pocket and throw. So he's going to have to learn how to make the reads and how to make those throws if he's going to survive long term in the league.
But
Otherwise,
I totally agree with you there.
But Bobby, at the same time, you got to think about it. He's shorter than Russell Wilson and Drew Brees. He's 5'8". Drew Brees is 6 foot. That's two.
What were you going to say, Ty?
That's different.
We saw what he did in his rookie year.
So,
What are you saying, Ty?
You can be small. You can be small.
I think Kyler Murray's a little bit too small. That's just my personal. I think he's a little bit too small.
All right. Well, yo.
No,
Okay.
listen. Look it up. Right. Look
All
it
right,
up.
rate these guys' takes.
Look
Everybody.
it up. I think Russell Wilson.
He's fucking short. Here's the thing.
This isn't where I'm going with it. I'm trying to totally go off this page. Hey, we agree they're short. They can figure that out. So let me ask, just not on a full another topic. Please don't all blow me up with another topic. Is that on Kingsbury and the play selection, or is that on Kyler to try and move himself out of the pocket on his own, knowing he's short?
It's neither.
It's more the coach.
It's more of both, because at the same time you have those short quarterbacks that can sit in the pocket, but for Kyler Murray being 5'8", they need to roll him out.
He's not 5'8".
He is 5'8". He's 5'8". They showed
like
it last
5'8",
night with ESPN.
Isn't he
On ESPN, they said that he was 5'8".
He is not.
What did he?
He might be a little bit. All right, let's
He's
move
not
on.
6 foot.
What did he measure at the combine?
He measured in at 5'10", bro.
I think that's accurate.
It was 5. I believe
At
it
the
was.
combine, at least.
I believe
Is that
it
with
was.
cleats on?
I believe it was under 5'9". At the.
I'm going with coaching staff.
I think it was under. I think it was over 5'10". But let's move on.
No, you're right. I think it was either 5'9" in an eighth or 5'10" in an eighth. Either one.
He
of
was the
them.
smallest player in the huddle.
Hey, it's almost 2020, motherfuckers. We can look this up. And let's see how
definitely.
many different-
No, you shouldn't have to look it up. If you're an
Yeah, you
analyst,
guys
I
said-
don't
you
know.
guys
I'm
are next to
going
him.
to put it in their faces.
Yeah.
We stood next to him. I agree. It's entirely with the point.
But anyway, Andrew Luck, guys. Andrew Luck.
It's coaching. The quarterback's coach and
Hey, I'm telling you, bro.
It's a new
All right.
offense.
Mute-
It's a new offense.
Mute
Give it
Robbie
time.
or not Robbie. Mute Northeast down there. I'm just kidding. You guys don't need to be muted right now. We got this. Andrew Luck has another long, lingering injury. Do you guys trust Luck's health going forward? Let's start with Rumboyz Northeast. We'll go back.
Nope. Before this injury, if you asked me, if you would have asked me, is Andrew Luck back and is he ready to go for the season? Absolutely. After this injury, because here's the thing: if you read into what they're trying to tell you, right? Read into what they're trying to tell you. They said calf injury because I don't think they wanted it to get out that it's an Achilles.
Ooh,
For the longest time,
conspiracy.
for the longest time, they listed it as a calf.
All right.
Now there's talk of it being an Achilles. And if it's an Achilles, we all know how hard those are to come. That's a long injury to recover from. Especially if it's more, if it's worse than they're trying to put out. Achilles are not easy to come back from, because quarterbacks have to drive off that leg, and if you can't put pressure and drive off the leg, you can't make the throws.
All right, what do you think there, Darion? You agree with Bobby, or you got another theory behind?
From what I was hearing, I thought it was ankle/calf. From what I was hearing, Achilles. I mean, it's a possibility because sometimes it can attract with each other, but this is nothing new with Andrew Luck being hurt. This is nothing new. This is every single year that he's hurt. Every single year after year that he's hurt. Don't get me wrong, he puts up the numbers, but can he stay on the field for 16 games?
3 out of the last 4 years he's been hurt. Let's go to Rumboyz OG. What do we got? Whoa. Oh. Ty's getting upset. What's going on?
bad.
Switch?
It was in his hands. He should have picked it. My bad.
No, you're good.
Bobby J.
Okay. So go ahead.
The Bears.
Maybe
You're gonna
what
lose
you-
anyways.
I love the reaction.
I was getting the scores up on the screen. Ty won that last one, by the way. What was the question?
Yeah, the consensus is Ty won the last one. So the question is no problem. Andrew Luck's here. I'll read it officially.
Andrew Luck's injury.
Yeah, the lingering injuries. Do you trust him going forward?
So I'm actually gonna hit this with a little bit of a fantasy take as well. It's not gonna be strictly NFL on this side here with this one. 100% no. Do I not trust Andrew Luck? Andrew Luck has had injury after injury after injury, and on different parts of his body, time and time again. This man gets hit one more time, then oh my God, he needs some milk. Get the man some milk, because you know what? I'm done with Andrew Luck. I can't do this no more with Andrew Luck. You can't trust this guy. He's already falling in drafts. This was once a guy in your fantasy draft that you could probably pick up as an early QB1 for your team. And now you can't do that no more. He's already fallen into the 8th round in many of circles, in many of leagues. If I see a guy off of one day, off of one report, you drop from the 4th fucking round to the 8th round, no, there's some issue there with your buddy, and I'm not trusting it. So no, bang the gavel on Andrew Luck, put him in the coffin.
Ooh, put him in a coffin, he says. What do you got, Ty? You won the last round.
All right. I'm gonna disagree with everybody here. I'm trusting Andrew Luck. If you're the Colts, think about what you gave up to get Andrew Luck. Peyton Manning, who ended up going to win a Super Bowl. Also, the fact that he hurt his leg, I get the arm thing. I get it. I get the arm thing. We've come back from the arm. Can we agree? We've come back from the arm.
Yeah, he did come back from the arm. Yes.
If it wasn't this, he would be back from the arm. This is a leg.
He did.
How much does Andrew Luck look to run out of the pocket? I agree you need mobility in the pocket. Yes, it's a thing. But do I trust him moving forward if I'm the Colts? It's not like I'm going to look for a new quarterback or draft a new quarterback.
I feel like we should really look at the Colts schedule. I mean, are you trusting in that he has to face JJ Watt twice a year?
Andrew
JJ Watt can't stay healthy either, so that's no different.
And had injury after injury.
Andrew Luck does not need to move out of the pocket that much. The dude is the most.
Devin Bush is gonna crack the fuck out of Andrew Luck.
Is Andrew Luck not the most definition of a pocket passer?
Yeah, but you need your Achilles to drive off of to make those throws, to put velocity on the football. You don't have your Achilles.
I will say this: it's very scary.
Tom Brady had the same thing, but they never told anybody. It was an Achilles thing, and he could not put any velocity on the football.
If I'm Frank Reich, I'm looking for more QBs. What do you got, Robbie?
If you can't listen, everyone wants to talk about Cam Newton heading into this year, and the fact that he has to adjust his fucking throwing. Everyone, listen. Hold on. I give respect. Hold on. We all agree that we're down on Cam Newton this year because of he has to adjust his throwing motion, and this is an injury affecting his shoulder. We would all be saying the same thing if it was an injury affecting his leg. I get that Andrew Luck may not have to be mobile all the time, but that is pressure that you have to now put back on you when you pull back and you throw and you release the ball. You're pushing off of your leg. You're putting your body.
So you're agreeing with me, Robbie, right?
I have a question.
Robbie, so you're agreeing with me, right?
What's up, D?
I have a question because from what I'm hearing is like this is the first time I ever heard it was an Achilles injury. I just kept hearing calf and ankle.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's Bobby's conspiracy theory.
So that's why I'm kind of like.
It's been floated out there by multiple people
has
that it is an Achilles. They just don't want to announce it.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
hold on. Until I know for sure from a source, we'll talk. But for now, I know from our last episode with the Fantasy Doctors, I know what is coming off of Twitter from the Fantasy DRS.
It's an Achilles.
I know what is coming out through their fantasy draft guides. You need to stay away from Andrew Luck. If you are drafting him in fantasy, if you are the Indianapolis Colts, start game planning for Jacoby Brissett. It is going to happen, and when it happens, I'm going to laugh at every single fucking one of you and say,
Hey, I said don't.
I feel as though that he's probably not going to be.
I said
He's
don't.
not going to be ready for
I'm
week
not gonna
one.
pick him.
But when he comes in, he's going to be very effective because he has weapons. He has weapons, and mind you, that offensive line did great for him last year.
What were you going to say, Ty? What were you going to say, Ty?
Do you guys all trust Jacoby more than Andrew Luck?
Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Question, JD.
What's that?
Restate the question, please.
Do you trust Andrew Luck's health going forward? I would say no. And what does this mean for the Colts? Basically, that's the second part of the question.
Well, can I say this now?
You trust Jacoby. You trust Andrew Luck. You
What
put your everything in a
Do I
basket
trust his
for
health? Do I trust his health?
What injury did he really have last year? Because the stats don't lie.
That shoulder.
He's healthy.
Hey, he
I
had
trust him.
4,000 passing yards with a bad shoulder. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
4,000
do that.
passing yards and 39
Imagine
to
if you got
50
a good shoulder and
interceptions.
All right.
I mean,
that could be all right.
Anybody have any more big points on this one? All right, let's move on to the next one.
No,
All right, everybody rate that one. Decide who won in the comments below.
Rate it.
Moving on. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo throws
Broken Andrew
5.
Luck beats the Texans.
What was that?
Broken Andrew Luck beats a broken Texans team. End of conversation.
Jimmy Garoppolo throws 5 consecutive INTs in practice. Big deal or no deal?
how many interceptions?
Rumboyz OG.
So wait.
Sorry, I've been going back and forth, D.
Yo, can we get a take on D's face right there? That made my day right there.
So
It's the 49ers. I mean, what you supposed to expect from the 49ers? It's the 49ers. I mean, come on.
Let's start with
I think you better
start with Robbie.
It's the 49ers. I mean,
oh, wait, the
Jared
question
McKinnon is hurt. So what else can you
The
do?
question is this a big deal or no deal? He throws 5
Can
consecutive.
I ask a follow-up question? Is that
Wait,
was that
no, northeast, no.
was that his first practice?
Wait for after Robbie.
No, I just wanted a follow-up question. I wanted to know if that was because this is going to affect my take.
Oh,
Was
okay.
How many days has he been back to practice?
How many days has he been back to practice?
Like what?
He's been practicing. They
I think
cleared
he's
him
been
in the middle of
practicing.
the offseason.
Yeah,
They cleared him a long time
full
ago.
off season.
So he's been good. He's been good to go all off season. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you guys like the snake order that I've been going in? Like I've just been going back and forth. So it's
Yeah.
all right. Cool. Robbie's take.
Go ahead, Admiral.
So over under for 5 interceptions for Jimmy G is what you're asking.
No, that's not even close.
Okay.
Like
Are you?
Is it a big deal? You hear Jimmy G just threw 5 interceptions. You just watched it on ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you flip the fuck out, or are you like, damn, that sucks? What is your take?
Yeah, it's just
on why?
practice, or is it like holy crap? That's bad.
So what had happened was with Jimmy G, he didn't smash Kiyomiya before the game.
Oh, that's a bad take, bro.
You know, and
Negative
that's what
5.
happened.
-5.
Just kidding. No.
I mean,
In all fairness, with our guy porn star Jimmy, yeah, you kind of gotta panic because you put all this money into this. He has not been healthy. The first time that he comes out, I get shaking off rust, but 5 interceptions.
That's mental.
God.
That's not physical.
Exactly. It's a mental thing, and once it starts affecting your mental, especially as a QB and the leader of the team, then that starts affecting the rest of the franchise. Now, there are some damn good receivers there. Some damn good receivers there.
Debo?
There's Debo. There's Dante Pettis. There's Marquise Godwin when healthy.
Kittle.
Exactly. Kittle can score more points than your wide receiver 1 on any given fucking Sunday, and you'll be happy with it.
And, and Jimmy G's from the Patriot tree, so we know they like to use tight end.
back out.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Well, you're right about that, and that's why the playbook is designed kind of the way that it is. With that also being stated, with that also being said, he is coming off an injury. It is rust. You worry, but you try and reinforce at the same time if you're the general managers, if you're the coaches, to make sure that he can move forward and progress past that. Because that's going to now affect his mental even deeper.
So big deal.
Big deal for Ty. Big deal for Robbie. Let's go to.
I haven't gone.
Sorry,
You want me to go next? You want to
Yeah.
run one of those?
Wait, but
Yeah, let's go with Ty.
Okay. I'm also gonna go with a big deal. That's just gonna be where I'm gonna answer it off the bat. Big deal, because any and everything I've seen out of San Francisco's coaching staff, GM, all of that have been, regardless of this injury, it's given him more time to study the playbook. It's given him time to read defenses. It's given him time to learn and execute his brain and his own, personal situations and demons. And clearly he didn't execute those or get rid of them in the right ways. 5 interceptions, I get it. It's practice, but that's a lot. And I'm sorry that Niners defense is not off the charts where I'm like, oh, yeah, they could definitely do that. I get they got Richard Sherman, blah, 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 but 5 is a lot. And again, any and everything I've heard has just strictly been how much smarter he's getting, how much more comfortable Jimmy's getting with the offense, how much better he feels with his receivers. And the fact that he does something like that, it just doesn't it doesn't sit well with me. So I'm going big deal.
Big deal. 2 big deals. What do you got, D?
I'm going with a big deal as well. And this is why I say it, because when you're throwing 5 interceptions in practice and the defense can't touch the quarterback, that's an issue. That is a big issue. You mind you got on shoulder pads, you got on helmet, but the quarterbacks cannot be touched in practice. Why are you throwing 5 interceptions? With all those weapons that Rob said, why are you throwing 5 interceptions? To Kittle, to Godwin, to Debo, why are you throwing 5 interceptions? That does not make any sense to me.
Yes, crazy mofo, 5 in a row.
The defense is not great, but the defensive line is okay, and they can get to the quarterback. But if you can't touch your own quarterback and you don't 5 interceptions, yes, it's a big deal for me.
There's no pressure in practice. I totally
agree.
There's no pressure in practice. Even if you're with the second string receivers, I'm sorry, why are you throwing 5 in a row? Like
not 5 in a row, like 2 maybe, but that's like you said. All right,
Bobby.
Oh, we got another.
What's up, fellas? What's good?
What's going on? What's going on?
Juice.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
I'll hand the floor to Juice if he wants to take this one before I do.
Bobby, go.
Bobby,
so
you got it.
Yeah, we'll just go in
Bobby.
order. But
Yeah.
here, I'll rephrase the question one more time so that he knows what we're talking about. He can think of a good take. Jimmy Garoppolo throws 5 consecutive interceptions in practice. Big deal or no deal?
All right, go ahead.
We'll let Bobby go, and then you can go for your take.
I don't know if I'm quite ready to push the panic button quite yet on Jimmy G. It's still early. There's still a lot of time to go. He's spent a lot of time off the field because of the injury, and he's just kind of getting back into it, knocking the rust off. I'm not ready to push the panic button on it quite yet. 5 is a lot, though, consecutive back-to-back. That is definitely concerning. If I was the coach, I would – if I was the coach down there, I would pull him aside and definitely check in with him, because, like, that's – 1 or 2 in a row is one thing, but when you throw 5 consecutive back, in a row, that's more than just rust. Like, you need to do something. You need to spend extra time with the receivers. Something extra needs to be done there, but I'm not ready to push the panic button with him quite yet, because there's definitely a lot of rust there. Now, let's say in the next week, if he has, let's say, another performance like that, then it's definitely time to worry. It's time to worry, and it's time to they have to do something on there. So it's not a big deal for me yet.
Bobby, because we still have some time on this topic, especially before we let Juice jump in, I just have 2 quick questions for you. One of them is a guaranteed yes or no. Do you feel that it was just practice and it's just practice, and then 2, is it maybe that the defense could be that good? And is that kind of what you're saying in a way?
No, I think he's just rusty. I mean, Brady, to some of the best, not just Brady, but some of the best quarterbacks in the league have had terrible terrible practices and terrible off seasons. Like some of the best quarterbacks in the league have had awful training camps and come out of it just fine. So am I concerned that Jimmy's throwing that many in a row in one practice? Yeah, but am I like DEFCON 1 and it's time to push the panic button? No.
I bet Kyle Shanahan was pretty pissed. What do you got on this, Rumboyz LA?
Yeah, so to me, it's a big pause to cause. Am I ready to call him Nathan Peterman Jr.? Not quite yet. But at the same time, I do think it's an issue throwing 5 consecutive. Not, like you guys might have said it earlier, not, 5 interceptions throughout the whole practice, but we're literally talking about pass after pass after pass. And I feel like Jimmy G has always been that big variable. Yes, he has limited game footage. I mean, we haven't seen him for seasons on seasons. But to me, he seems like a game player. He doesn't seem like just a practice player. And every time he's in the game, he shows you what he's got. So I think it's a big positive cause. I still think Jimmy G might be the best quarterback for this system.
All right.
Okay.
I like it. Everybody rate.
Listen, Sam Fran, it's not time to push the panic button yet. It's just one practice. Let him knock the rust off and see how he looks in week 1.
Now I have a question.
Right, who's right? Who's wrong?
I have one question. Now, if he goes into Monday night and throws 5 interceptions and get the at least 2 interceptions in his drives in this preseason, would you still be concerned?
Yes.
I'm tripping off 5 interceptions.
Let's say he throws three interceptions in like the preseason game 3 or 4. That's when you start to be like, that's when you might start to get concerned because.
If he does that, I think he'd be more concerned about his knee, or his mind would be elsewhere other than the actual game. Because sometimes coming off injury, you're thinking about your body more than you're thinking about the play, especially at the quarterback position.
That's a good point too.
Well, yeah, because you're worried about
what were you going to say, Ty?
If you tear an ACL. I mean, think about it. If you tear an ACL and your mind's not right, you're going to be constantly thinking, how can I avoid this hit?
Mm-hmm. What were you going to say, Ty?
Not even the hit. I mean, think about the fact that a lot of guys out there like Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield is a perfect example. He's the starter. He's out there. He just is so calm, collective, throws the shit out of the ball, throws a touchdown his first drive. It's easy. He don't care. Mm-hmm. Garoppolo, not that he's arguing for his job. I think we can all agree he has the job. It is what it is. But he's proving himself, proving he's back, proving he can do this offense. The Niners were pretty solid before he went down. He's trying to. Who's a good? His mind is racing, not only just getting hit, but proving himself.
I think he has to get his confidence back. But for now, for me, I'm hitting the panic button.
You know who's a good comparison to that, right? Like the whole confidence.
Damn, crazy! You dropped 3 5s on that one.
You know who's a good comparison to that, right? Gordon Hayward for the Celtics is completely healed. There's nothing wrong with him. He's completely healthy. It is all up here.
Yep.
He is afraid to drive the basketball.
Some people call George it. Some people Gordon
does not want to get hurt.
I agree with that. I think that 5 in a row is crazy, but
just put it on Jimmy G.
We'll see what happens in the regular season. All right, Dak Prescott wants $40 million per year.
I just put it in my mouth.
Mil.
Can I go first?
All right, yeah. Let's start with you, Darian.
Go ahead.
Go downward.
Dak Prescott is smoking crack. Period. He's smoking crack.
That man is on drugs.
He got to get the crack pipe or something because he's looking like Eddie Kane out here. Like something's wrong with him. Like Dak Prescott out of all quarterbacks, you want more. Like me and JD had this segment on my podcast not too long ago. He wants more than Russell Wilson. Are we serious right now?
A lot more than Russell Wilson.
Like Russell Wilson ain't even getting that much guaranteed. He wants 40 guaranteed.
He's got like 32 mil a year guaranteed. I could be wrong about that. Russell Wilson.
Dak Prescott.
All right, let's or what were you gonna say, Darian?
Dak Prescott is only as good as long as Zeke is on the field.
I agree with that one.
Simple as that. So you're not worth 40 million if you can't do it without Zeke. Sorry.
It is not a false report. It is not a false report. And here's why I'm saying because there was only one report that stated it was a false report. Only one report that said it was a false
Here's
report.
the thing. There's
NFL
multiple-
Network
there's
said it wasn't a false report, but
there's
okay.
multiple reports saying he said no. He flat out said no to $30 million. They offered him 30 mil, and he flat out turned it down. That's insane.
Yeah,
Well,
to turn down 30 million in itself. is
Even though this is Rumboyz LA, everybody knows I'm a diehard Eagle fan because we didn't have a squad. And what I say is, Dak Prescott, get your money. I mean, if you got the Cowboys, got to pay you $50 million, pay you, because nobody fears you in our division. Nobody gives a damn about you in our division. We want the Cowboys to not be able to play other players. So I'd rather they pay Dak Prescott than Zeke, because every time Dallas comes, everybody in the NFC says one thing: shit, we got to stop Zeke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Dak Prescott, get $100 million. Get 200.
I live in Philly, and I'm not an Eagles fan, but I can't stand Dak Prescott either.
All right, let's go to Robbie J. It looks like he's got to take on
That tells me something
locked and
different.
loaded.
Bro, listen. There's literally only been one report that this was a false report, that he turned this down. There was every other report from every other credible source in the world that this shit was real.
I think the false report was a false report. I think they were trying to cover that shit up. If you want my opinion.
I think Dak saw that shit got out, that he turned down the 30 mil, and he was like, oh shit, I'm getting roasted on Twitter right now, because he immediately got roasted on Twitter. I was a part of this shit. So
Dak says, or Slap Through Himself says he's worth $5 to $6 million a year and maybe a box of Little Debbie's snacks.
with that being said, cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Hey, Robbie, if you found out, though, that they gave him 45 mil, would you be happy as hell?
I'd be happy, because I'd be like, yo, they're not going to be able to pay Zach Martin, Zeke, Amari Cooper. Like, it's cool.
People forgetting about Byron Jones, too. What we're going to say, Rumboyz Northeast time.
Get this, right? If they pay Dak $40 million, you can kiss Leighton Vander Esch goodbye, and LVE is gone because he's going to demand a ton of money, right? Amari Cooper in 2 years when his contract is up, you bye.
All right.
If they pay $40 million to Dak Prescott, their biggest playmakers in 3 to 5 years are out of here. Goodbye.
Hey, Robbie, just to let you know, cocaine is a hell of a drug, but there's a difference between cocaine and crack. It's a difference.
All right, Ty, did you get your take in there? Let's get Ty's take.
Yeah, shit. I was wondering.
I forgot what it was. And then I think Juice, we got to get your take too. Let's get
No,
Ty's take.
Honestly, okay, I'm going to start with this before you guys blow me the fuck up. He's absolutely ridiculous for asking for this amount of money. But he himself is smart, knowing he's on the only team in the NFL that will pay him that money.
That will absolutely pay him that money. I will absolutely agree with Ty on this one. The Cowboys definitely will do that.
Are like, yo, fuck you. Find a new home. We're going to draft a quarterback. Or
I wouldn't pay him that.
He's going to just hand the ball to Zeke 40 times a game. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Done. He is
Zeke,
smart.
I'd pay Zeke for him.
But it's absolutely ridiculous that I think that he is trying to get. I think I originally said like 24 million, and then it came up.
Yeah, we were like
he denied 30.
I was like 25 even.
A perfect example of what Dak Prescott is look at when Zeke was injured, right? When Zeke was out, what did they ask Dak to throw the ball 30 times a game? Right? Somewhere in there.
Right.
Probably 30 to 35 times a game. If he has to do that for 16 games, there is no that you cannot lean on Prescott and depend on him to throw the ball 30 times a game for 16
I didn't even cover my point, motherfucker. Hold up. Yo, last part of my point
is that team.
Mute Rumboyz Northeast.
Hey, last part of my point is, yes, I think it is smart that he is going to be the guy to get the money because it's Jerry Jones, but think about what they've done for him. I get it's a long shot, but they reached out for Jason Witten and were like, dude, we need you back. We need your help. He signs back. They go out, they trade a first-round fucking draft pick to get a wide receiver, a top-tier wide receiver for you to help out your stats, your benefit, to have someone to throw to and be confident in. You see how confident he was in him. I mean, Cooper blew the hell up.
Yeah.
But why are you going to be a dick and try and take all the money in the world?
What I love is that Cooper's been the most silent person throughout all of this, which makes me think that Cooper's just sitting back and like, I will take the rest of the residual. I already know that I'm going to get a top 5 deal, right?
Yeah.
If not by
All
then,
right,
by
let's hear
another.
from you, Rumboyz LA.
Yeah, no, all I was going to say is, fellas, what we do have to always remember is it's not always the best quarterback gets paid. It's who's up for contract first.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
his turn.
So technically it is time. And what we're going to look at, even if he gets $38 million, in 3-4 years, we're going to say, well, they got Dak Prescott cheap. I mean, they don't really pay the quarterback too much because it goes up every single year. I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't that good of a quarterback, and he got paid like crazy guaranteed money, and everybody was like, oh, that's crazy. And this team didn't even make the playoffs.
He bowled him the 2 years in a row, though.
But
Yeah.
And then sucked. I give it to, and then sucked. But
I just got to put it out there that Dak Prescott was playing like shit until we traded Amari Cooper. So I don't really think he's worth any goddamn money because he was mediocre the first 6 to 7 weeks of the damn
The
year.
team had no identity. The team had no identity outside of Zeke.
And it's still the same way, even with Amari Cooper, because you still have to run the football.
Exactly.
Can I ask a follow-up question to you? Can I ask a follow-up question to you guys real quick? Do you think the new OC is going to make that much of a difference this season or no?
Absolutely.
Is it what's his name again? I forgot his name.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah, Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I think maybe we should switch it up and do this. Jason Garrett's gonna go.
Do you really think Dallas is going to have a second half like they did last season? Here's the thing. There's enough tape to study the three of them together. Dak, Zeke, and Amari Cooper. And now that you have that tape and you know what that trio can do, and if one of them can't be signed, that just makes your job as a defensive coordinator that easier to key in on this team and do what you got to do to go make stops and win games against this team. I'm not riding high. I don't have faith. It's aside from me wearing fucking Redskins gear, being a fan, it is what it is. This team comes into the year every single year for the last fucking 5 years with preseason NFL training camp drama that bleeds into the regular season, lasts for a couple of weeks. They'll win a couple of games. Last year, they found themselves in the playoffs. I don't think that's happening twice. Why? Because that has never happened in the NFC East. Period.
Sure. I'm with you.
Good points. I like that take. All right, moving on to Jadeveon Clowney. And this time we will start with Rumboyz LA and move upwards. Let's go with the Texans are rumored to be looking to trade Jadeveon Clowney. Where's a good fit and how much is he worth? Like 1 draft pick, 2 draft. Ooh, I see Ty is looking at the Bears, but let's hear from Rumboyz LA.
If he went to the Bears, it'd be just the best team in the world. I do like Clowney, an edge rusher. I mean, literally, he'll fit on any team pretty much. I mean, there's not a team that you say, oh, if you went there, it'd be horrible. But me, myself, I think Clowney got a little bit of attitude that comes with the package. I mean, he does take plays off every now and then. He's not a every play kind of guy from at least the game tape that I see. I think it's worth about because what did they get for Khalil Mack? How much did they give? 2 first rounders? What was it?
Two first.
We gave him a lot for Khalil Mack. We gave him a lot.
Two first rounders.
Cut that in half, and that's what Clowney's worth. Cut that in half.
2 first rounds and a 6th round and a 3rd round.
Yeah, just about half of that to me is what Clowney's worth. That's what I feel.
Ooh, okay. All right, let's hear from you, Bobby, at Rumboyz Northeast.
Plus Clowney's
I'm
over.
going to get a beer while Bobby talks because I know what he's going to say.
My take on Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes, sir.
The trade rumors.
You're listening as I walk away.
He could be on the trade block.
What's he worth? How about that? What's he worth?
What's he worth?
Yeah, there you go.
He's older. He's definitely a veteran, that's for sure.
No.
He's been in the league for 4 years now? 5 years?
That's not a veteran. That's prime time to slap somebody in the face.
He's good for a couple years. He's good for a lot more years.
So if you're gonna, here's my thing. If I was any, so let's say I'm the Bears, I'm not signing Clowney for more than 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
Oh, that's fine.
3 years. I would cut the contract off at 3 years.
What's he worth?
What's he worth?
Again, think about it like we just said. What'd you say Khalil was traded for? A first, 6th, 3rd?
Yeah. A
I would-
sixth,
I
a
would
third,
think-
and 2 firsts.
I would think maybe like
Is it
a
fifth?
late second and a third rounder.
Give it
Okay.
first round.
Late second and a third rounder and some money. That's what I would trade him for.
So not too expensive. What do you think, Darion?
I think the same thing as Bobby, man. A second and third round trade them. Listen, we can use them on the Raiders. We can use that veterans on the Raiders because we young. We
and
young.
you,
up
and
there
you throw
front.
some money in, and you throw some money in,
And
like you eat
we
the contracts or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't mind trading what we got to get him on the Raiders. I don't mind that either. But it's a lot of teams outside of the Raiders that can use him as well.
A lot.
I just feel like he's not consistent to me. So that's why I think he's not worth a first round. He's not consistent to me. He takes plays off after he gets a big sack. He's just not. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. I mean, once JJ Watt is healthy, he can go all 16 games. Who is Clowney for real? Let's just keep it a buck. Who's Clowney after JJ Watt is really actually 100% healthy? But at the end of the day,
I would agree with that. I would agree with these takes.
At the end of the day, NFL teams do need him. So if my Raiders want to go out and get him, fine. I mean, I don't think we need him right now. But if we want to, put depth,
you have a lot of picks.
Line, I take it.
If a defensive guru or like a defensive team like the Bears or the Bills do sign him, they need to realize that since he does take plays off, they need to use him like accordingly. You know what I mean?
I think they should use him like first and second down situations because he's not going to do nothing on third down.
Well, this or you plug in he's a plug and play kind of guy where if you need a big play and you need like 3 or 4 plays of good effort, then you put him in here. And if you can get him for a second and a third rounder and maybe get the team that you trade with to eat some of that contract money, that would be that would be a good deal for both sides.
Mike D says Buffalo. So let's hear from Ty, Boogie, and then Robbie J after that.
So, well, I can kind of go and flow with the comment. I mean, you go ahead. I took a break. Go.
All right. So what I think he's worth, I agree that if Khalil Mack is worth multiple first-round picks, Clowney's not worth a first-round pick. But as much as I just try to make sure my takes go as far from Bobby's as they can, I'm gonna have to agree with it. Like a second and a third, and maybe like a 6th round, as opposed to trying to give him some cash, maybe give him a later round type of thing. Or if I'm not saying he's worth it, but if you give up a first-round pick, you better give up that pick, and that's fucking it. Like, there better be nothing else included, or you got screwed.
So what I'm gonna say is, I want to look at this from the Texans side, and I want to try and give them the advantage, being that they are the closer team that can they can progress to the playoffs. Let's face it, they've made it to the playoffs. They usually one and done just because Bill O'Brien's their coach.
I'm on the coach.
I get it, and I 100% I get it, but you can't also count out the Houston Texans. So what I am going to state is, why not move Clowney, strategically speaking? Not necessarily moving for a pick. Originally, at first, I was like, moving for a pick. The Redskins are obviously not going to trade Trent Williams, period. And we don't need Clowney to be 100% honest. We really don't. We got the Bama boys. We have younger guys that are 10 times better and stronger than Clowney, to be real.
Interesting.
The team that picks him is going to be a team that's 1 or 2 pieces away, too.
No,
I like that.
Well, yeah, it's either that or but if I'm the Houston Texans, let me ship you to Miami. Let me ship you to Tampa. Let me ship you to Buffalo. Let me ship you somewhere where I can get a draft pick because you're going to tank anyways. Let me ship you to Cincinnati. And then let me go ahead and take on another receiving weapon due to the fact that guys like Will Fuller don't stay healthy. Kiki QT is already dealing with an injury. So why not plan for the right now while your window is open for you to progress to the playoffs? And go for the gusto. I say try and get you Devontae Parker or Kenny Stills from Miami. I say try and get you one of those receivers, a Godwin or something, out of Tampa. They got rid of Humphries, who's clearly their wide receiver, so you can go and remove that. I say, go ahead and go to Cincinnati and be like, give me Tyler Boyd, give me, your pieces that you're not using, because that's a team that wide receiver at depth, they have speed. Those are guys that are running 4.3s, 4.4s.
You don't need
The
to.
Bengals,
Now-
the Bengals are going to need all the defensive help they can get because their offense is going to be atrocious this year. So I could see him going to Cincinnati.
If you're
I
Buffalo,
can see him.
if you're Buffalo, let me get Zay Jones. Let me get Zay Jones and a draft pick. Boom. Now I got a guy who has upside going through the future.
What's
Boom, boom, boom.
What's LA got to say about this?
Well, I'm kind of going listen to what you're saying, and I just don't think that the Houston needs receivers. I mean, yes, I see there is injuries concerns, but you have DeAndre Hopkins, the best one in the game. You got a young Fuller. You got Cooper, who's still young. I mean, you got now a good receiving running back in Duke Johnson and Lamar Miller, who's not horrible at catching the ball at the backfield. I just think that they need to address a whole other plethora of different things other than the wide receiver core. Now, what you said earlier, though, I like, because they do need line help. And Trent Williams could be an interesting move over. But does the Redskins really want to take on a head case after losing a head case?
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They've already agreed. They've already stated they're not going to do that. That's why.
But if somebody offers the Redskins a good enough package, they'll move Williams.
Oh, yes,
they'll move him.
Now, what I do like what Robbie said is having Clowney go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, look what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line has. JPP and Ndamukong Suh. We plug Clowney in there. That changes the whole aspect of the NFC South.
What's back there?
And it changed the whole aspect of the NFC South. It makes the Tampa Bay defense a little bit more better. So if you could give up little, to get Clowney and get him into Tampa Bay with that linebacker core and that defensive line, I think that would be the best fit.
And it could work in Clowney's favor too, because he would not have to play every down, because you have Sue and you have other pieces in there, so you could plug and play Clowney there as well.
If you're the Buccaneers and you're in rebuild mode, do you trade your draft picks to get someone like this right now? Tell me the Bucs aren't in rebuild mode.
No.
They're in rebuild in their division.
I think you get them if you're a contender.
They in rebuild mode, but if you want to give up a 6 or 7 round pick for Clowney, I will do that.
Okay, but
now we're talking 6 or 7. We were talking 3rd and 5th earlier.
But it depends. I'm saying that if you want to give up a draft pick, right, and a player, I would give up like a 6th round pick and a player to get Clowney.
Okay, that's but if I'm the Texans, you've only improved your offense. You went from a broken quarterback, no quarterback in the history of your life, to Deshaun Watson, who, yes, injuries, blah, 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 don't give me that shit. He's come somewhere. Hopkins is the best receiver in the NFL. Try and argue with me. It's cool. They just went out and got a running back. They're improving their offense. Yes. What is now the piece that
trade defense for defense? Trade defense for defense.
Why would you give up Clowney unless it is absolutely worth it? Why would you not?
Because they don't want to give him the money.
That's the problem.
He's gonna, when his contract is up, he's gonna demand a ton of money.
Remember when Juice from Fantasy Football Bar, Rumboyz LA, a couple of minutes ago in this show just stated there is a way that order of contracts do work in the NFL. And you know this. We spent a lot of time around NFL people.
Yes.
They fucking text us all the time. So you know this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain way that shit works. And it's his time right now. This is unlike the previous topic that we debated. Clowney's time is up now. It's his time for a contract. They don't want to give him his contract. Boom, boom. It is what it is.
I just feel Clowney.
They would pay Clowney. They would pay Clowney if he was more consistent. The inconsistent, the up and down performance. It's the contract and his time being up is his own fault.
Yeah.
Again, I just said though, if you're the Texans, you now look at your offense and you're like, I'm
going to get Taya Brew now.
I'm feeling confident about my offense.
I'm going to get Taya Brew.
Whichever one of you, I'm almost positive it was D, said JJ Watt is broken, dude. Like, I'm sorry, he's one of the best players in what I've seen ever.
He is injury prone too.
I have a question for you before I go get you this beer.
What?
All right, I got one more topic, and then we're gonna go with the topic that was brought up in the chat.
I would take a half-broken JJ Watt over Clowney though.
But he's broken. But you would still take him in IDP?
Okay, how many wide receivers are we talking about are broken that you would still take? Adrian Peterson, is he broken? Would you take him? You were sold sold on Adrian Peterson.
All right, Darian, I'm going to start with you with this topic. I'm going to start with you because you're the one that brought it up. What do the Eagles do if Carson Wentz gets hurt this time?
Sign Colin Kaepernick because there's no other quarterback out there that you can get. And this is why, listen, what other backup quarterback you can get? Cody Kessler is in concussion protocol. Sudfeld has a broken wrist. Who do you really have that's going to be a quality quarterback if Carson Wentz gets hurt? I mean, understand, Rumboyz LA, you're an Eagles fan, and I have to say this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to be 100% honest with you, but Jason Peters is not going to protect Carson Wentz.
That's why we drafted Andre Dillard.
Yeah, but we all know Jason Peters is going to get the start. We all know he's going to get the start because he's a veteran. We all know that at the end of the day. So once Jason Peters act like he's going to be injured every first half of the game like he did last year, then he act like that he was hurt. That's another story for another time. But if Carson Wentz gets hurt this year, who can you go to in free agency as a quarterback? Who? Rex? Like he's Mike D says Rex Grossman. Like
so first of all, I shouldn't even be talking about this because this is bad juju into the air. Because Carson Wentz, we can't have him get hurt this year. Okay, there is no when he gets hurt. But one thing I will say is if you look at Fantasy Football Focus, they say the Eagles have the best offensive line in football, and that's not just because of our guys, it's because of our depth. We have every position. We have a guy who's ready to back him up and ball out. Like I said, Andre Dillard is their first-round pick, and if you looked at him in preseason, the dude is absolutely balling. So I do think that Carson Wentz will be protected this year. If he does get hurt, and I don't even want to say that, but if he doesn't get hurt, there's nobody.
He said there's nobody.
Listen, you know what?
You could say Kaepernick, but we don't know what Kaepernick can do at this point. We don't know if he really fits the
I was
offense.
just saying- I was just saying that-
Out of the league for 3 years.
I was just saying that.
For 3 years.
Hey, let JD run it. Let
All right.
JD run it.
Let's hear from let's let Rumboyz LA finish his take. Then we'll hear from Bobby, and we'll go to Ty and Robbie.
Yeah, so all we would really need, and I don't know if he's out there, we just would need a game manager because Nick Foles, I love him to death. You know what I'm saying? I cry for that man because he gave me all I ever wanted, which was a Super Bowl. But Nick Foles is somewhat of a game manager. He runs the RPO quite well, but he's not a dude. Now, mind you, in the Super Bowl, he threw like a bat out of hell. But
he killed the Patriots. That RPO killed them.
Exactly. So we just need a Nick Foles type. It's just somebody who's willing just to, hit a slant. Okay, hit a screen, hit this. We don't need a guy who's going to be a straight stud. But let's say that never happens. Carson Wentz is going to play the whole year. I'm going to say it right now.
All right.
Good boy. Good
Whole
boy.
year.
I still think
All right, Bobby.
Hey, Juice, you know how you protect Wentz? You run it. Run the ball. If the Eagles run the ball 45% of the time, 40% of the time, Carson will be in there all year.
They got Jordan Howard now.
And Miles Sanders.
Out of retirement.
That's what I mean. You like the Eagles went out and they got 2 solid running backs. Use them. Them. Don't let them guys go to waste. Don't put that much pressure on Wentz. Run the ball.
I'm with you.
You guys have one of the best.
That's what happened last year. They stopped running the football last year. They stopped running it.
But we didn't have anybody.
All right, Rumboyz OG.
Ajay got hurt.
What say you, Rumboyz OG? Whichever one wants to start.
So what's the new topic?
I don't remember whose turn it was. Robbie, let me get the question out for you, so it's fresh. What do the Eagles do if Carson Wentz gets hurt this time?
Pray. you pray because Thorson ain't shit.
And so
what do you do? Like, I guess you go down to your local deli, see if the guy behind the counter, has an arm or not. Like, I don't know what you do if you're fucking Philly.
Get the quarterback from arena football.
I'm gonna leave it at that. You just gotta pray.
You gotta pray. All right, Ty.
I mean, what do you do? Yeah, except that you're probably not winning your division because you have a tough division, and go from there. I mean, if I'm Philly, I'm not trying to break the bank or out and sign anybody.
He's not hurt yet.
Right. Maybe
Not
just accept like you kind of screwed yourself over by signing him for as long as you did, and he's going to get hurt if it's a major injury. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't do a whole lot. They have a good, solid team around whoever plays quarterback. They clearly went out and got receivers. They have a solid defense. Again, we've already talked about the run game. Like
The problem is that Philly values the second QB the QB2 position so high that they didn't invest in it after losing Nick Foles?
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Nate Sudfeld has been balling. I mean, yes, he broke his wrist and he had a bad game, but I watch a lot of practices for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nate Sudfeld is no scrub. The dude is decent. I like him.
He's a
The
former
chat is
Red
saying
Skin.
Jay Cutler.
Oh,
How do you guys feel about Jay Cutler?
if I would have to get a new
If
team.
he's not up there, JD, it's cool with me.
Yeah, as long as he's not in Chicago, I don't care where he plays.
Juice though, for real though, Philly needs to run the football. That's their best protection of Carson Wentz is to run the football.
And we can,
Yeah,
like I said, last year we didn't run the ball, but the reason why
Doug Peterson's got a head like a goddamn rock. So you need to get somebody in his head and just say, run the football.
yeah.
Whoever is quarterback in Philly, if Wentz does go down, you have the perfect tandem of things to do. You can hand the ball off to Jordan Howard all day. Miles Sanders can do it all. You can throw 3-yard screens to Deshaun Jackson and live. You can just throw the ball anywhere near Jeffrey and be fine. I'm not saying a backup quarterback brings them to a playoff game, a Super Bowl. This isn't Nick Foles, but
They could survive.
you don't go out and try and break the bank or do something like that. You just accept that you bring your backup along, if they do sign somebody, whatever that is, and you just see how it goes. Like
Case Keenum brought the Vikings, and everybody thought the Vikings were going to go to a Super Bowl a couple years ago because of their defense. The Eagles' whole package is better than what the Vikings were that year. So if we just get a game manager, we can do something. Now, Wentz is still, like I said, going to play the whole year.
Where the fuck you gonna find another one of those, Juice?
He's Case Keenum. Nate Sudfeld's not out the whole year. Nate Sudfeld's only going to be out for probably 5-6 games, which, I mean, Wentz gets hurt.
Nate Sudfeld will probably be back week 4, week 5.
That's all we need.
That'll be good to see. That'll be good to see.
Pray.
Said pray. Robbie J says pray.
In the words of Ice Cube, if you scared, go to church.
The good news is that we only have to worry about the Cowboys in our division because the Redskins and Giants are trash this year.
Avery gave me a 6, so I scored well in the round.
Save it for the regular season, bro. Shout out to Lumar.
All right, what's the next
All
topic?
right, the next topic.
Hey,
okay,
Katie,
what's up,
hold on. Shout out to Lumos for the 20 ticket donation. Appreciate it, brother.
Oh, right on.
ESPN2. I'm gonna follow you because I see that you joined our broadcast and I don't follow you, bruh. Don't just stream waiting screens. That's whack. Let's go.
All right, we'll start with Rumboyz OG this time.
The next topic is
The next topic I got is actually from the audience. Crazy Mofo wants to know our opinion on basically Jalen Ramsey. He says he's not going to come back to Jacksonville. What is your opinion, Rumboyz OG, on the Jalen Ramsey situation? Would you want him on your team? Is my question.
Work, man. Yeah, that's me. I say, first off, you need to fucking pay that man. You pay that man for every reason that he's giving you to pay that man. He needs it. He deserves it.
Relevant without him.
Jacksonville's defense is nothing without him. That is the next Deion Sanders.
It's good television, too.
Although I would trade for Miles Jack in a heartbeat.
I feel that.
Miles
that.
Jack.
What?
Right.
Miles Jack is
Jalen is top tier shit. People don't throw to Jalen's side. Jalen back in college used to text his opponents, girls, baby mamas, whatever, to get in their head and let them know I'm not itch and I'm coming to wreck shop. That is a badass motherfucker that you want on your roster at corner. He plays the psychological game so well. Football is 80% mental, 20% physical.
JD, I got a topic.
Okay,
You got it.
Okay. But first I want to hear your opinion on everybody else.
So yes, pay the man if you're Jacksonville. If not, if I'm Jalen Ramsey, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
But he's gonna be like Josh Norman though, because it's like he's gonna be like that, and the guy's a head case though. So what team is gonna be?
What? No, he's not.
The right team in a winning call. I mean, Deion Sanders won some Super Bowls, so
Jalen Ramsey's a head case, though.
I don't
Jalen
think so.
Ramsey is nothing like Norman, and I'm a fan of Norman. Jalen Ramsey is nothing like Norman. No way. No.
Yeah,
I'm not
they're both head cases.
But
All right,
how?
let's
but
hear
what makes,
from
what makes Jalen Ramsey?
Rumboyz Philly.
They're
Then
ridiculous.
Rumboyz LA.
But they're head cases.
What makes Jalen Ramsey a head case? Because he's proven that he's the best corner in the league. Has he proven that?
One of them.
He has.
Yeah,
He's been a great shutdown corner. He's been a great shutdown corner. So he has the reason why to ask for the money to back it up too. You got to think about it. Now Jalen Ramsey can fit on a lot of teams in the NFL. He can fit with a lot of good defenses in the NFL because he can shut down one-on-one. He don't need a cover 2. He don't need to cover 3. He don't need to cover. Put that man in cover 1. He will cover a tight end. He will cover a corner. He will cover a slot and will shut them down. He will shut your best player down. He worth the money. Why not be cocky about what you do? Deion Sanders was cocky and he shut down corner. He shut down the best wide receivers in the league every single year.
Avery says he wants Ramsey on Detroit. What say you, Rumboyz LA?
Hey, I love Jalen Ramsey. The dude is just a straight beast at corner position. And if there's one position that you want to have mad attitude, it's the corner position who's on their own island and can control a whole side of the field. Another thing that you have to look at when it comes to Jalen Ramsey is the dude has the shortest memory out of any corner. He's the only cornerback that will get burned by some random chance one time and get up and act like nothing happened and talking shit right back to the guy. You gotta love that. And you see what he did single-handedly to AB last year. I had AB in that game. And the dude, if Jalen Ramsey was a wide receiver, he would have more fantasy points out of all the picks and all that shit that he had AB. So if you could take AB out the game, you can take any receiver out the game. Give me Jalen Ramsey on my team, and it'll be over. I promise you that.
Talk about it, Rumboyz.
Any responses on that
about
one?
it.
All right, let's go to Bobby.
Talk about it.
You know,
What is Ramsey looking for a contract? What does he want?
I think he wants to be the highest paid.
The most
Well,
money.
do you know what that is? What is that a year? 20 a year?
a lot.
Dude, he's
I think
talking
it's somewhere
Dak-
around like
he's
45.
He's
Honestly, I
talking
think it's
Dak
around
Prescott numbers.
45.
He's gonna blow the.
No, he deserves he deserves a $45 million contract. I would drop $45 million on fucking Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
No,
And
but
especially
I'm talking AAV. What would you pay him a year?
So Xavier Howard makes $15 million a year. Josh Norman makes $15 million. And let's see where.
Give me a good name.
I would be
Those are the
comfortable-
highest guys.
Howard is nice.
I would
Those
be
are the
comfortable
highest guys.
paying a guy like Ramsey. I would be comfortable paying a guy like Ramsey like 17 or 18.
I agree.
18 easy.
Ramsey's only getting paid
25.
5.8 mil.
25.
Oh yeah, he
He's
needs
getting paid
17, 18
1/3.
mil.
He's getting paid 1/3 as much as the highest paid corner.
I agree.
I would
coming into town.
pay him so the highest paid is 15 or 16.
The highest paid is 15.
So I got no problem giving Ramsey 18 mil a year. I would do that.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right, we got a lot of Ramsey love in
Because
here.
you don't have to jump that far. Just go
It's true.
3 million
But
over.
think about any team coming into town and you take away their best receiver. Think about going to see against the Packers, but they have no Devontae Adams. Or you're playing the Falcons, they got no Julio. Or you're playing whoever and they ain't got the best player. That is a big advantage for the defense,
It is a
especially
big
for the defensive coordinator to be able to put the play game together.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but the Patriots did it with Revis. They rode Revis to a Super Bowl. They rode Revis and Browner to that Super Bowl.
They can do defense wins championships for sure.
They paid Revis what he wanted. They were the highest bidders for Revis that year. They went all in, and they paid him and they rode him. They rode that one player. They rode Darrelle Revis to that Super Bowl.
We appreciate that, Avery, for sure. Let's go to Ty. What is the next topic that you have for us? And listen, has everyone else said everything they need to say about Ramsey? I think we kind of beat that horse. So what do you got, Ty?
All right, so this is kind of like a super opinion question. Everyone could be on the same page. Everyone could be very different. But again, like this is almost like me thinking Madden style. If you got to start a franchise, you basically got keys to the kingdom. The team that is currently on the field now, what team would you take? Maybe what moves would you make right away? But what team would you try to start your franchise with on some Madden type shit?
I was gonna
I
ask.
don't care who
So
starts.
is
I don't
it
care who
like-
starts.
Similar
If
question.
you should have picked
Who's going
Bobby, I
first?
swear to God.
I was gonna ask a similar question. I was gonna say if you have to take Kansas City and the Patriots out of the
Let's
out of the scenario, and you have to build your team, which one would you take?
well
Well, no, keep
let's
him. I mean, keep
we'll
Kansas
keep
City,
him.
keep
We'll
the
definitely
Patriots.
keep
Like,
him.
again, tell me the first move you would make
Yeah.
as GM. What team you would take?
with any
all
team.
I wanna know and
I'm
what your
taking the
first move-
Chiefs personally. I mean,
Boom.
yeah,
Tell him, JD.
I'm taking the Chiefs. It starts with the quarterback, and they have a decent O line. Like, how can you? It starts with the quarterback. They're the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. That's my take.
My D said Miami because they got space.
F cap space.
I don't think it's even a question. I'm taking Cleveland all day. You got a young quarterback in Baker
Damn
Mayfield,
it,
you don't have to pay.
Damn
You
it!
got, you got Nick Chubb that you don't got to pay for a while. You already secured the bag with Odell Beckham and these guys. You got Njoku who you don't got to pay. They
Damn
still got Myles Garrett who's still a young beast, and he might be one of the best defensive players in the game in a couple years. Their whole squad is young and jovial with a lot of swag. I love everything Cleveland's doing.
If you
You took exactly what I was going to say, so I'm going to think of something else.
if you ever got the right coach combination, the coaches combination right in Cleveland with all that talent on offense and defense, and you could get those guys. So Cleveland could be a major sleeper this year because if Baker because all those attitudes, right, with all that swag on one team, you need that one guy that can get above all that. Baker has the swag and the attitude to get to be there. If he can get those guys to pull in the same direction, that team is dangerous, like really dangerous.
I would take the Bears, but I don't trust Trubisky. I just don't.
Bears are a quarterback away from being a serious team.
What were you gonna say, Robbie?
I'm gonna go completely. Being that this is like purely just like opinion based, like what the fuck ever. I'm a guy that could play either way. I'm a football player. I would either take the cold or I'd take the heat. So I either take Jacksonville or I'm taking Buffalo. Give me the cold or give me the heat.
Wait a minute, did you say you would take Buffalo Bills?
The Buffalo, Robbie. The Buffalo. I wish I could reach through this screen and smack you. For that.
I kind of understand why Robbie picked Buffalo, though. I kind of understand why Robbie picked Buffalo. They offense is
Why is
not
that, Darian?
bad.
Slap the shit out you. For that.
Well, Allen has a great arm.
In the snow. Hold on. I get to play in the snow. All right. So as a wide receiver,
Slap the taste out your mouth right now.
I love that I piss you off with that. I get to go out there. I get to play in the snow. Like it's constantly gonna be like that during like
about the snow.
But
Okay. Yeah, you threw me off.
I live up here. Fuck the snow.
Josh Allen's my quarterback.
It's fun when you play in the snow one day a week and you just like, it's a random Saturday with the boys. That's different when you got to practice in the snow.
And tell me one good thing to do in
in
Buffalo.
the snow.
What's one good thing to do in Buffalo?
Cute
says
says
Gordon or Hilton.
Gordon off of pure talent. Gordon all day.
Hilton.
Ooh, we got to get to that one though.
We're going to
driving
get to that.
I'm
We gotta
driving
get into
to
that.
Wait, what?
Give
See
me
why Hilton is
Josh Gordon over Hilton. When he's healthy and right
Yeah.
and his mind is right, Gordon is
See why
Darian,
Hilton-
did you give your take on who you would pick? Who hasn't
No, I
given
didn't
it?
get my take yet.
Okay, let's get your take.
he hasn't given
My-
his.
I would love to play in the snow too, but if I'm going to play in the snow, I'm going to go to Pittsburgh. And the reason why I'm going to go to Pittsburgh, because that's where my favorite running back of all, my personal favorite running back is Jerome Bettis, because I played the position and I wear number 36. So, me personally, I would love to, if I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler, I would love to play in the snow. And what I would build around is the future for Ben Roethlisberger. So I know he's on the way out. So what I would do is keep James Conner, get somebody else on the opposite side of Juju Smith-Schuster, and run the football. I'll go with the Pittsburgh Steelers because I like what the Pittsburgh their defense is all right. They're not the best, but I'll go with Pittsburgh.
They have the worst cornerbacks in the
He
league.
is so lame. It's so lame to go somewhere where there's already a ring. I want to go somewhere and be that person that's like, I did it.
But let's understand that. When was the last time Pittsburgh won a Super Bowl? That's
I don't want. But if that, or I want to go to an organization as a new owner and be that owner that I'm the one with that organization. And I do
He wants to be the Kawhi Leonard of
to be the
football.
owner in Buffalo, jumping off at tables and shit in his office.
Yeah, I want to be Kawhi Leonard of football.
But at the same time, you got to think about it too. Pittsburgh defense is not that great. That's something that I, as an owner, can come into and rebuild that defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see Robbie's Buffalo Bills meetings.
Pittsburgh is a good place to bring people. People want to play in Pittsburgh.
So I chose the Chiefs. Robbie chose the Bills. D chose.
I picked anyone without a ring. I picked anyone without a ring.
Anyone without a ring. Okay.
If you want to do anyone without a ring, I could change my.
Let's hear from Rumboyz LA, then Bobby, then Ty.
Yeah, no, I already said Cleveland's gonna be that team. But
that's right. Yeah,
I will say this about Buffalo: good luck trying to sign a free agent to sign with you in the cold ass Buffalo, buddy. I mean, you have to be pulling
Why do you think nobody signs with Buffalo, and why do you think they send people to Buffalo for their careers to die? It is a football player wasteland.
That is where people go to die. Definitely.
And that would be even fucking cooler. That would be even fucking cooler for me to be like, I did it, motherfuckers.
I did it just to prove it.
Even fucking cooler.
You won't have to change this. You won't have to change the whole
challenge
culture to get a big guy to come to Buffalo.
You go do that. You go jump off.
That's the whole point. I want to go somewhere that has no rings. If I'm going to turn somewhere around, I want to go somewhere that's never been done. And then I have a whole lot of ways I can spin that too, because like I'd be the first black person. I'd be all up in it. I'd be all up in the media.
Well, if that's the case, then I could go back and turn back and go to the Raiders. We haven't won a championship since the 70s. If you want to really do that, and instead of me picking Pittsburgh, I'm going to pick the Raiders. If that's the case.
AD, don't forget about the tuck rule, bro.
Screw the tuck rule. Screw Tom Brady and the Patriots for the tuck rule. That's all
I knew that was coming.
Kick rock.
All right, let's hear from Bobby on who he'd pick, and then Ty.
I went with Juice stole my damn take. I would have said Cleveland all day long.
Okay.
With the young roster, the talented roster, and if you can get all that talent and all that ego pointed in the same direction, all you got to do is manage it. All you have to do is manage that talent.
Yep.
Can we get an honorable mention though? The Carolina Panthers would be a organization I would try to change around too.
If you need a quarterback though, you definitely need like the next guy in waiting behind him. If you could ever find that, then yeah, Carolina is there too.
Right.
Looks like Rumboyz LA and I guess Northeast would be winning this one according to the chat. All right, actually, we gotta wait for Ty. Excuse me.
My topic. All right, so I like where y'all are going. Fuck the snow. I'm gonna tell you right now. Living in Chicago, I am not playing with the snow. I will go to the snow when it is.
You don't know what snow is, motherfucker. You live in Chicago. Come up here. Come up here in the Northeast, and then come talk to me, bro.
I know what snow is. I'm going with
I live in Philly. I know what the snow is, man. I know what the snow is. I live in Philly.
I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
Ooh, the Rams.
They obviously have a decent enough defense. Aaron Donald's the best player in football. He's worth the money. If he's one of those guys, Jalen Ramsey style, who's like, I want a shit ton of money, you pay him the money. It's worth the money. He's literally possibly defensive MVP this year. It's going to be a thing. Pay him the money. The offense is fantastic. I know the Gurley situation is kind of under the rug at the moment, but you still have one of the best running backs. Jared Goff is a young hell of a. You got a shit ton going on.
No faith in Jared Goff. None.
You just got to the place. You just got all this new things going on. You're acquiring new fans, new things like that. Why not be the team that is going to make playoffs a bunch of years, possibly win a Super Bowl, and be that?
I'm gonna say this, even with your take, even if Todd Gurley is down, listen,
the Rams are solid.
I did. Robbie J did his little bit of time for some bad shit when he was younger. And the way that Darrell Henderson walked into our interview looked like somebody that was in jail. Like, you want your biscuit?
Oh my God!
And when I saw him, I was like, man, fuck. I damn near shitted myself.
Again, I'm going with Rams. I think
so. You're good. You're covered.
So what do we think in the chat of Ty's Rams pick, guys? So we got
They-
the Browns.
The Rams need a quarterback. They need a quarterback they can actually trust. I have no when you Goff is
I like
great.
Goff.
Listen, Goff is great. Goff is great. And I mean like great when he has a clean pocket to deal with.
True.
When there's guys falling around him and he's got to slide in the pocket left and right, you saw it. You saw it in the Super Bowl. That's what the Patriots did to him. They knocked him off his balance, off his game, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I think I put him in the same category as I put Dak. I think Goff and Dak are two players that they're not going to ruffle any feathers. I mean, they need things to work perfectly in order for them to really be that good. So I don't really like Goff, and that's why I want to go with the Rams. And you take Baker or Goff, Baker any day of the week.
Cushman says, imagine thinking the Rams need to worry about getting a QB.
Mayfield over Goff. I would even take Mayfield over Wentz.
Oh,
wait.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. Well, it depends on if
you
he can stay healthy.
Injuries aside, Carson Wentz is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. We all know that. I mean, the dude was an MVP for the whole year. Even the dude's
won my fantasy league.
I'm coming in hot, man. Mayfield over Wentz.
I got a topic that we got to start with. We got to start with Bobby on this next topic for sure. We got to start with Bobby. What, Robbie?
Carson Wentz is going to be a Romo. Injury, I think.
That'll be interesting.
What
It'll be interesting to see it play out. But this next topic is for Bobby to answer first, and then we can go around the room. But we got Josh Gordon reinstated tonight in like the last couple hours. I think it was like 5 hours ago.
5 hours ago.
Big deal or no deal for the Patriots? Bobby, let's go, and then we'll go to Rumboyz, Philly, then LA, then OGs.
So my biggest concern with this is that the Patriots actually start to depend on him. So let's say he just hear me out. The biggest concern is if they start to depend on him like he did last year. They started to depend on him.
Somebody did a meme for that.
They started to depend on him like they did last year. And what happened? He let him down in week 11.
And they won a Super Bowl.
Well,
and did Tom Brady depend on him in the playoffs?
They got it, but then they got to readjust. And their receiving core isn't as good this year as it was last year.
You know what this is?
Better.
Yeah,
it is. If Harry's healthy, it's better.
This is the recycled. They all doubt us. They don't think we can do it.
There's no way Josh Gordon is making it through a 16-game season. There's no way he's gonna
smoking a joint.
Something's gonna happen week 10 or 12 or something like that, and he's gonna be in the same. It's a cycle, bro. He cannot get out of that cycle. He is not going to last the season. Is it nice to have a talent like that on the team? As you know, just on a pure talent standpoint, yeah. But do I put any faith on him?
I mean, he gets it through.
Read it. Go ahead, read it.
Fuck you too, Cushman.
All right, let's hear it, Rumboyz LA.
Do I put any faith on
right after this?
I put any faith in Gordon staying with the team for the season? No, none. Nope.
So I have more of a sensitivity when it comes to Josh Gordon because year after year, the man breaks my heart. I mean, he got to a point where I had to tell my wife, I can't let this dude break me down like this anymore.
I feel bad for him. I do.
And the thing that's rough for me is I go on Instagram and I see his body, no homo, but he looks like a Greek god. The dude's running routes perfectly. I remember the old memories of Josh Gordon running down the field with the Cleveland Browns and looking like the second coming to the best wide receiver in the world. And I keep thinking he's that guy year after year after year. This last year, he traded to the Patriots. I still drafted him in the third round, mind you, and I know that was a mistake, boys. But I drafted him in the third round. He got traded to the Patriots. I thought, here comes Randy Moss. And then he couldn't stay off the drugs. I'm all out on Josh Gordon as far as fantasy. And when it comes to actual game, I think the Patriots can use him if he's there. But if he's not there, Patriots will change something up and go back to the Super Bowl like they always do.
Bobby, read that shit.
Yeah, that's from everybody and anybody in this fucking chat room.
Until I get my beef jerky. All right, let's go to you, Darian.
No, that was solid.
This is a waste of a reinstatement. This is a fucking waste of a reinstatement. How many times does this guy gets a chance in the fucking NFL? All these good players that get kicked out of the NFL, and this guy keep coming back, smoking the reefer, like Stephen A. Smith says, stay off the weed, like always. But I'm sick of it. Like, I don't want to see this guy anymore. I don't care about him in fantasy. I don't care if he has a good year this year. I don't give two fucks for Josh Gordon. He can't stay on the field.
We all know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen.
It doesn't matter what's going to happen. At the end of the day, he's going to get a chance after chance after chance. No matter how many times he fucks up, he's going to get chance after chance. I'm over it. I don't have nothing else to say about it.
But it's because he's a good guy.
In the story.
All I'm going to say is, well, I'm gonna first post this comment.
That a boy, D. That a boy.
No, that a boy. QC.
Hell yeah, QC. I gotta talk to you after the show, QC.
Listen, I love this. We all know how I feel about this topic in particular. Let them have fun. Let them smoke. As long as during the offseason it doesn't affect performance, smoke weed every day.
It ain't just weed, though. It ain't just weed.
I know. With Josh Gordon, there's a lot of shit.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
It's the alcohol. He drinks heavily.
No, it's not just that. There's a lot of shit.
That he does. There's a lot of cocaine and stuff like that. But the reason why NFL will keep bringing him back is because one, he's a good guy, and two, they know he's the type of guy that'll be detrimental to himself. And how bad would the NFL look if he gets suspended or definitely never comes back and he ends up hurting himself?
Hey guys, what about Chris Carter? Chris Carter became a Hall of Famer, and he had some problems before.
What I say,
but look at Chris Carter's stats and look at Josh Gordon's stats.
Never going to learn his lesson.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, Robbie J's turn.
I say that when the new CBA gets looked at, this needs to be something that needs to be brought up. Maybe that for players that did grow up struggling with, their families and so on and so forth, struggling with addiction, can, if at least they're able to smoke, during the off season, or something, maybe that helps, or maybe if we make CBD at the very least, if we make CBD 100% across the board acceptable, and not just the NFL, this goes across all professional sports. At least we are taking some type of steps. I don't necessarily agree with, you shouldn't go out there and play football while you're high. You shouldn't go out there and play basketball
every year.
Or go out there and hop in a cage. You shouldn't go out there and hop in a cage while, underneath the influence of marijuana. But at the same time, I hope that this is something that is looked at on the CBA to help players, because there is an issue, and this is an issue that does need to be talked about.
All right,
Robbie, use logic. Get about your feelings.
Yeah, Bobby, chill out. I'm all right.
That was my take. Raw sports on the internet.
I'm with you. Look,
I love you know you, my boy. It's just tough to see him fail over and over and over and over again.
Mute that motherfucker.
all right, Ty.
Look, I'm not even gonna fucking tap your guys' subject with a poll, because I feel like we totally missed that, and you guys just want players to smoke weed. And I agree that if it helps them, it helps them. But your boy Rumboyz LA and Juice just said there's 1,000 other things in Homeboy system that is why he's suspended. You cannot allow these 300-pound, 6'4" defensive linemen to have cocaine in their system and be cracking heads. Somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna die. I'm sorry. So whatever. I'm not even gonna touch that. But I agree with D, dude. That he has had so many chances. I don't know what he's doing to Roger Goodell to continue to getting reinstated and keep getting his choices. Bobby's a Patriots fan, and he's like, dude, he ain't coming back. Nobody expects him to come back. Do not pick this dude in fantasy.
Well, no, he'll be back. There's no faith. There's no faith that he makes it through the season.
He's a waste of time, man. He's a waste of time. It's so many other players that are scrutinized.
Dude,
they couldn't come back. Like, come
ask
on.
Ask any Patriot fan, and they will tell you the same thing. It's going to be week 10, week 12. He's going to screw up again, and they'll suspend him indefinitely again. It's a cycle, bro. It's a circle. He cannot stay off of it long enough for a whole season. He cannot do it.
We're at least 4 or 5 reinstatements at a minimum. I'm telling you, D is right. This is a waste of time. Trust me. I'm with Juice on this. I thought he was going to be so fucking good. He absolutely has the body, the physics, the ability to go up and get the ball. He has the ability to fight for the ball. He will go get it. The Patriots play where Tom just throws
pure skill set.
Gets it.
Pure
Amazing.
skill set alone. Taking
Wasted
away all of
talent.
the drama. If you take away all the drama, Ty, like you said, if you take away all the drama and just go off pure skill set, the guy is incredibly gifted, and that's what the most frustrating thing about this is the guy's so gifted, and he's been given so many chances over and over and over again. But it's like if he could ever get it together, he could be so good, so good.
But he's not. He's not. It don't take you 7 times to get reinstated and keep getting kicked out of the league 7 fucking times. How many times you going to get? Like you it should have been a wake up call the first and the second time.
I got you,
like,
QC.
after the third and fourth time,
Right.
I'm done with him.
Have you guys seen the 30 for 30 on Randy Moss?
Yeah.
Have you, dude fucked up 1,000 times, got reinstated. It was never for drugs, though. It's not like he ever was officially like a drug. It was him having bad attitude.
All off the field drama. All off the
Doing
field
this and
drama.
that.
All right.
See what he does. When he gets to the NFL, Randy Moss flips it. Fuck this, I'm not in college anymore. Turn it the fuck on. Become the greatest receiver in history. Josh, he should have done that.
Amazing.
Gordon should have done that. He's not doing
Josh
it.
Gordon
He's
needs
a
to do
waste.
that.
He's a waste of talent.
He's definitely got to flip it on. I got a live fantasy football question from the QC. Let's start with Robbie J on this one, and we'll go around the room to Ty, then LA, then Philly, then we'll end with Bobby. But the question is, Eric Ebron or Jared Cook?
All right, so here's the thing. You have to analyze this. Drew Brees doesn't hit the tight end often. Okay, so there's that. Now I get that Jared Cook produced very well last year, every year prior to that. What I'd also like to simultaneously add with this is on Ebron's behalf, wasn't consistent before last year either. And with that being stated, you now have to split with Jack Doyle, who was back healthy. When you're splitting with Jack Doyle, who is a favorite of Andrew Luck, that can be an issue for you.
You can't go to the same college and not be a favorite.
Exactly. So I would have to take Cook in this essence due to the fact that it is Drew Brees behind center nonetheless.
And
he hasn't had a true tight end previously. So this is an opportunity to, if Jared Cook was a star last year, if he's going to be able to maximize on that at any point, you had a good quarterback in Derek Carr. We say this the other day with Stepmom Morin with a Deshaun Jackson take. When you leave a bad quarterback and you get only a better quarterback, that can probably only more than likely make you better. You know, at least 70% of the time, you're probably going to just get better. So with that being stated, I would roll with Jared Cook in this scenario.
All right, so I'm gonna just assume that's my take here. I'm gonna go with the same, but not even close to how you got there. I know you said Drew Brees doesn't throw to the tight end a lot, but Drew Brees hasn't had a tight end since Jimmy Graham, and that dude lit it the fuck up when he was with Drew Brees.
Yep.
If Cook can be anything close to that, I know he's older, he's less running ability, but the dude can catch a football. If he can catch 15, 20-yard slants over the middle all day, Drew Brees will feed the beast. Michael Thomas is probably going to take some double teams this year. It's going to be a thing. It's going to leave the middle.
Has to open someone up.
It's going to leave the middle wide open. Drew Brees can find him. He's going to find that dude. My only thing against Ebron is, yes, Doyle coming back. And I honestly, it's a hard question because I really like Ebron. I like what he did last year. I don't think he has a down year. I don't think he has a crazy good year, but I don't think he has a down year. But I would go with Cook.
Can't trust Luck, though.
At you too. If you're trying to stop from a defensive game plan standpoint, you better be lining up in a 3-3-5 or at least putting 7 DBs back there to stop Drew Brees. And let's face it, you can't game plan against that team that often because of the way Alvin Kamara can run.
It's harder to cover the Saints and it's harder to cover the Colts.
Let's jump in there, Rumboyz LA, and then we'll go to Philly and we'll finish off Northeast.
To me, it all comes down to Andrew Luck, if he's healthy or if he's not healthy. The only reason why I say that is because Andrew Luck loves throwing the ball to the tight end more than any other quarterback, especially in the red zone. Now, when it comes to Drew Brees, I gotta kind of disagree with you, Robbie, as far as him not throwing the ball to tight end. He doesn't like throwing the ball to trash tight ends. But if you look at Jimmy Graham, a monster. Who did he have before Jimmy Graham? Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates had damn near 2,000-yard receivers in 2004 and 2005 before he moved to New Orleans. So if you look at what Jared Cook did last year with Oakland,
factual.
I do think that Drew Brees is going to throw the ball over the field. Now, the only thing I hate to say, and the only reason why I'm going to go with Ebron, if Andrew Luck is healthy, is because I hate the splits that Drew Brees has between home games and away games. And I don't want my tight end not getting production away like he does at home. And that's
Juice. Drew Brees, the like disparity, it's from home and away. It's ridiculous, dude. It was terrible. Yeah, it's awful.
I don't want to deal with that this year, so I'm gonna go with Ebron.
All right, what it do, D? What do you got on this one?
I'm gonna go with Jared Cook, and the reason why I'm gonna go with Jared Cook, I mean, Drew Brees is there. I mean, I understand that he plays horrible away, but you can't deny what he does, what he do at home. I just can't go like with Ebron. He gives you the touchdowns, but do he give you the receiving yards is the question. Now, Jared Cook can give you the receiving yards and the touchdowns. Ebron was really good in the red zone. Jared Cook is just not a red zone tight end. That's the difference between Ebron and Jared Cook. Mind you, he was with us last year, and he didn't have many touchdowns, but he had almost 1,000 receiving yards as a tight end. So, me personally, I would take Jared Cook over Ebron just because we don't know what the issue is with Andrew Luck at this moment. But I would take Drew Brees and Jared Cook as a.
What if Andrew Luck is healthy?
Jared Cook still gets down the field more than Ebron does.
He's still more productive than Ebron. Me personally, he's still more productive than Ebron.
And with the way the Colts want to do their playbook with giving Marlon Mack the touches, going with the two tight end spread to be able to.
Am I about to agree with Rumboyz LA again?
All right, let's hear it, Northeast.
Bobby,
I'm taking Ebron. I'm taking Ebron especially if Andrew Luck is healthy. I got Ebron all day because that.
So you got
Andrew Luck loves to throw to the tight end.
Loves it.
It is on a third and 6. You know where that ball's going.
Yep. Can I ask you this? Can I say something?
One of Ebron's best routes is the seam route, and Andrew Luck hits him on that seam route perfectly.
Can I say something though? You got to look at it from the Colts though. They go with double running backs. They go with double tight ends. Now on that 3 and 5, you could dump it to his running backs. He could dump it to his tight end. He could dump it to even top T.Y. Hill because he runs short.
You're really gonna trust. Hold on. Let me line up. Let me paint this picture for you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You got T.Y. on the outside. You got Paris Campbell on the outside. You're gonna go two tight end spread. You don't need the extra receiver there for no fucking apparent reason. Okay, because you got Marlon Mack in the backfield. All right. Okay. So now you got Doyle and Ebron. You already stated Rumboyz Northeast and Rumboyz LA, my fellow divisions that I love to do content with and to work with. But I promise you that when I tell you this, no way in fucking hell. When I got these two speedsters running faster than goddamn Dodge Hellcats down the field, and then I also simultaneously have big body tight ends in the middle of the field, there is no way that Ebron is getting enough touches in fantasy or in real life period to be this.
Yes, he will. Because you know what, T.Y. is going to get doubled. T.Y. is going to get doubled all day. And that's going to leave the middle of the field wide open for the tight end.
Y'all don't understand, though.
Rate those takes, guys.
Guys,
there's one in New Orleans. There's two in
Rob.
T.Y. has been a best player on that team for a while. The most touchdowns T.Y. Hill has ever had in his career is 7.
Rob, I agree with you saying, Rob, because at the end of the day, T.Y. Hill is just not an outside receiver. He can play the slot as well. Let's keep it 100%. That guy can play the slot. If you look at most of his touchdowns, it came across the middle. That guy just don't run up the seam. He comes across the middle, and he's one of the smallest receivers on that team. Period.
The most touchdowns T.Y. Hill never had. The most touchdowns was 7
times back there. Like it's done.
T.Y. Listen, T.Y. gets you a lot of yards, but no touchdowns.
The most he ever had was 7. Andrew Luck is throwing 40. If Andrew Luck is throwing 40, if Andrew Luck throws 40 touchdowns and T.Y. gets 7, the most T.Y. ever had was 7 in 1 year. Then where's the rest of the touchdowns going?
I can't believe I'm going to say it. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I am agreeing with Rumboyz LA again. I'm taking Ebron.
It's not even a question. Andrew Luck.
I got a question. I want to start with Rumboyz LA.
Let it be.
I got a question. I want to start with Rumboyz LA. If you guys are done with this take, I think we've beaten this horse pretty good. Definitely, we've beaten a few horses here tonight.
At least 5.
And I don't remember who asked it. I think it was Avery that asked, who's your favorite rookie quarterback and who will be the best rookie quarterback out of this class this year?
Nope.
No, we're not doing that one?
Nobody.
Back the fuck out of that
Here's
one.
the thing.
Backing out of that one.
Here's the thing.
JD,
I got another question in the tank too.
Why'd you have to ask the question? Because you know Robbie's going to answer anyways.
No,
Yes.
I'm not. I'll be honest. We made some few job offers out there. I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. Backing out of that question. Hey, rookies, whenever.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna move away from that question for this time.
Overall, instead of just rookie quarterbacks, can we do rookie overall instead of just doing rookie quarterbacks?
Okay.
I mean,
Is that okay? Is that okay, Robbie? Can we do rookie?
So who's your favorite? So what's the question? Who's your favorite rookie overall?
I think we're waiting on some like interviews, and we don't want to give some hot takes yet.
Not a Redskin.
What's that?
My favorite rookie overall is not a Redskin.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
So what is the question? Who's going to be the best rookie? Who do you think is going to be the best rookie this year?
I think we're staying away from
rookie of the year.
Your favorite for rookie of the year. There you go. There it is. Favorite for rookie of the year. Let's start from Rumboyz LA.
You need a defensive rookie and an offensive rookie.
I think hands down, the rookie of the year normally goes to an offensive player, whether it's quarterback, wide receiver, running back. And without a shadow of a doubt, I can almost guarantee Josh Jacobs is going to get it this year. Ooh. If you even check them out in preseason, the dude was get 5 yards, 10 yards. The dude is going to eat all 3 down. He's been a 3-down back. He's going to have all kind of yards, just like Saquon did last year. I love everything about Josh Jacobs going this year. I do.
Ooh.
I don't have to say nothing else. He said it for me. I don't have to say nothing. Josh Jacobs is, man. I'm sorry. 5.3 yards a carry. He was doing it in college. He did it in the preseason so far, and I think he's going to do it with a good upgraded offensive line for the Raiders. Josh Jacobs is that guy.
All right, Northeast, and then let's go to OG and finish it off.
I'm still picking between 2, so let me decide. Go.
Okay, let's go to Rumboyz OG. Passing on this one. Okay. All right. Passing on this one. All right. I'll start a new question for you guys. QC asks, Rams defense or Bears defense? You already know I got the Bears defense.
We all know what Ty will do with that one.
Let's go with Ty. Yeah, let's go with Ty on that one.
You're not going to me first.
Wait, if it's
fantasy. Let's go with fantasy for fantasy.
Who scores touchdowns?
Yeah.
Bears.
I'm gonna go with Bears. QC.
Bears defense all day. Bears QC. If that was a QC's question, Bears defense all day long.
No, listen. We need to look at stats. The disparity of the percentage of leagues that were won by a defense was 0.4% in 2018. I'm not. Yeah, I'm Steve Smith singing. Yes,
I know you're not.
I'll be back, y'all.
Story with.
Okay.
I'm not telling you a story with it, but I am stating that you can train your defense week to week. Okay,
that wasn't a question. Okay, go. Got my bad.
It depends on what the Bears team looks like on whether or not you take the Bears defense and what round. Do you take the Bears defense? Of course you take the Bears defense. But if you don't have enough weapons in skill position to be filling those type of voids, and you haven't already started filling your bench before thinking about a defense, then you shouldn't even be talking about that.
I'm seeing a lot of Bears and Rams in the chat here.
Yes, you take the Bears. Yes, you take the Bears.
Okay. It's not even a question. You want to go with the Rams this year. Only reason why is not necessarily because the Rams are better, because the Bears defense is better. But you have to look at strength of schedule when it gets down to the playoff time, especially if we're talking about fantasy. Now, if you look at the Bears going forward in the Super Bowl, they're going to be playing teams like the Chiefs, Green Bay Packers. They had all the Cowboys, all kinds of guys. If you look at the Rams, what they're doing in the Super Bowl, it's nothing but trash teams. You want to have a strong end. The Bears are probably going to outscore them in the beginning. Get me wrong, but I want my defense to ball when it matters the most.
Okay, so from a non-fantasy perspective,
Bears.
You would take the Rams. Okay,
Bears,
gotcha.
yeah, not fantasy.
Bears fantasy perspective. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
Question, yeah.
Give me a question that we're going to debate.
Okay, I got you one. I got one for you. I'm going to change what somebody in the audience asked because one of them is obvious. So let's go. Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield?
Good question.
I know who I want. I'll start, actually. I want Deshaun Watson because he's got the craziest potential. I just think if he can just stay healthy and they can get an offensive line and you can, keep Hopkins, obviously, he'll be amazing. But Mayfield would be good too, though.
Baker goes around him.
Yeah,
he's got he needs some tools.
The exact same thing. Baker because of who's around him.
Okay, I'm talking about like for the next 5-10 years. 5-10 years.
Baker's got the tools around him.
Yeah, give me Baker.
Oh, okay.
And Baker's a natural leader, and you could tell even him in college. Guys love hanging out with the dude. The dude got swag. He's chugging beers in the baseball games. I love everything about Baker.
I like Watson. He's a leader too. He's like he brings a leadership perspective, I think, too. And he's accurate. He's very accurate. People don't talk about that. He almost throws for 70% completion last year. That was a pretty damn good year of throwing. So yeah, you guys all say Baker. I say Watson. Rumboyz Philly. Who would you rather have? Baker and Mayfield for the next 5-10 years, not even for fantasy, just as your starting quarterback. Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Deshaun Watson?
That's tough because they both have different abilities in throwing and running. They have their ways of getting the job done in certain ways. But right now, how it's looking, I would say Baker Mayfield. I mean, I love Deshaun Watson, but I feel like he has as of right. I mean, we all know DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league. We all know this right now. We all know this for a fact. But who else do he have if Will Fuller keeps getting injured every single year?
Right.
It's really a bunch of nobodies, but Baker Mayfield has the better weapon, so I would go with Baker Mayfield.
All right, so that's 4 versus 1. I mean, I must be wrong here.
We gotta get some debates up in that shit.
Right on. Well, we're definitely we'll wait for Robbie J a little bit. We're gonna wrap up soon here. We'll read some comments here. It says, "Welcome BKB."
I got a question.
Ooh, let's go.
Guys.
There it is.
There it is.
I got a question for y'all.
What's the question?
Who's going to be the biggest disappointment this year?
Beautiful. Josh Gordon.
Really quick, Baker or Deshaun? Who you got? Really quick. Gut.
Like who's the player that's going to be that everybody's going to pick that's going to be the biggest disappointment?
Antonio Brown.
Well, damn.
Wait, who said AB?
Me. Darion don't like that one.
Listen, at the end of the day, the stats ain't gonna lie. I'm just let it speak for itself. I let it speak for itself.
I think there's a couple out there that people are going to be picking, and you're going to get nothing out of them.
Slap yourself, says Kyler Murray.
Josh
Rosen. Shit.
Oh my God!
Because he won't touch the field.
I'm gonna say Pat Mahomes. As crazy as it sounds, everybody has this idea of Pat Mahomes that he is going to be more numbers than before.
Sophomore slump.
Pat Mahomes is still going to be a top 3 quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. However, where people are picking him in the second round in fantasy drafts or all the stuff like that, he's not worth that this year. I guarantee. If Andrew Luck is healthy, I think Andrew Luck's actually going to put up more fantasy production than Pat Mahomes. But I think they're going to come down to life on that one.
Any more takes on that?
No, that's perfect.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Biggest disappointment for me, DK.
oh my God.
Yo, that was a good take.
DK.
That was
I
a
think
good
DK
take.
is gonna,
That is debatable.
I think
that is
DK, I think DK is going to be the biggest disappointment for me this year.
That is fucking debatable right there. Good shit.
What, DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
We can debate that.
I think
I
he's.
mean,
I think there's a ton of hype surrounding him. A ton of hype. That kid's got a lot of pressure to perform. So if he doesn't put up good numbers, people are not going to be happy.
Why does he have so much
I
pressure?
don't know about
Doug Baldwin
disappointment,
retired. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta think about
He's
that.
just a rookie.
Bro,
Yeah, he's a second round. I mean, he's not like a.
Yeah, he's not like
Yeah,
he's not like
I don't know about
no
disappointment.
first round pick. I mean, he was already a disappointment coming out of the draft, getting drafted, getting passed up by a lot of people in the first round. But I don't see DK being a disappointment, knowing that it's his rookie year. I don't see that. Absolutely not.
I agree.
Anyways, guys, so let's go ahead and get this back on track really quick. Once again, as always, every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network for Rumboyz After Dark. Make sure that you do check out Rumboyz.com. All the analysts that you see here on the screen are on the website, and all their content is on the website. Exclusives from each and every one of them that you won't get elsewhere. I heard a little rumor that Rumboyz LA was like top 80 on Apple Podcasts. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving it on up. So definitely check us out, Fantasy Football Bar.
So let's let's see if the Rum fam can pick that up a little bit.
Yes. So make sure you guys go and support the Fantasy Football Bar on Apple Podcasts.
Great podcast. Amazing.
Yes, it's very good content. Very good content. Make sure that you also check out Rumboyz Northeast for any and all of your Boston sports content. This man is on it. If it's in the Northeast region, he's more than likely to probably even touch on it a little bit. So if you're in the area, you live up in that Northeast 95 corridor, that's who you should hit up. Also, along that same 95 corridor, I would like to recommend Rumboyz Philly. Rumboyz Philly is going to provide you Philly content, but with the Raiders twist because he's a Raiders fan.
And just to let you know, Robbie, that I will be covering Philadelphia high school sports too. So I will be covering the Philadelphia high school team called the Frankfurt Chargers. I will be doing live play-by-play coming up this upcoming season.
That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. Excited to look out for that.
If you like high school football, check in with your boy.
Mm-hmm.
High school football is very important because that affects your college team and your future NFL team. Shout out to my homie Flip, that's actually out there at Alcorn State right now. I saw you, homie, getting your dorm set up. You're gonna be playing quarterback. I can't wait for you to start for the team. But then also, as always, make sure you guys check out the homie JD. Really quick with JD. This man just moderated this whole show with a bunch of raucous ass drunk individuals.
Facts.
Mainly,
Very fun.
Also, not only that, he's a damn fucking good writer and also leads a staff of other very good writers. So head to rumboyz.com and check out his stuff. He also streams for Rumboyz Central. So this man writes, he streams, plus he's like here hosting and moderating. You guys got to show him. That's the truest MVP, the hardest working motherfucker that, like, I know, absolutely. Covering all phases of being a true sports analyst. So go check out his content on rumboyz.com. Other than that, y'all ready to do this how we do this here?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Actually,
Cheers to me.
cheers to you.
You.
Oh wait, hold on, restart.
I'm sorry. Excuse my pink cup, but I got some Christian brothers in here, but it's all good.
All right, so we're gonna do it. 3, 2, 1. Cheers to me.
Cheers to you.
You.
Rumboyz
All
and
the
girls.
rum boys and girls, what it do?
What it
We'll
do?
get better. We'll get better.
Billy,
Dilly
you got
dilly.
out of here.
Rum boys
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like, what the hell?
Peace.